Today, you can see on the screen that we're going to be working on a rooster, and then you're going to find out, you probably already guessed, but you're going to find out what I'm doing different on the rooster versus what I did on the other three. So, let's get on with making it. This time I'm going to show you how I got it all set up. And alright, so gonna set up the XY coordinates for the rooster. How critical does it need to be? I mean, does this have to be perfectly square and perfectly lined up with the machine or anything like that? It's like, no, it doesn't need to be. I mean, you want to get it kind of close because you don't want to waste material, but that rooster is going to be in a 12-inch by 12-inch square, and so, you know, as long as I clear this edge of that opening, you know, let's say it's going to be about 12 inches. 12 inches is going to be about here. I want to be away from the clamps. I don't want to hit the clamps, but there's my 12 inches up here, and if I draw a line, more or less that's where the rooster's going to go. And if I come across here, it is 12 inches here. If I draw a line there, that rooster's going to be in that square. So, you know, here's the square. There's where my rooster's going. So my XY can be right there. And I don't think that I need to be within 1 or 2 thousandths of that. If I'm within a... I don't want to hit the clamps. So if I'm like an inch this way, it doesn't matter because I got plenty of material that way. If I'm a half inch this way, I don't care because I got enough material over there. So somewhere around right there, that's where my XY0 is going to be. Doesn't need to be any better than that. I'm going to bring that down to where that is. Heck, that's close enough, you know. Yeah, how's that? Is it perfect? No. Does it need to be perfect? No. So my XY0 is set. Perfect as I need to be. It only took me a minute to do it. Didn't even take me a minute. But when I'm going to be using different tools to blend things together, like when I get to my finished 3D cutting on the rooster, I'm going to have a 1/8 inch ball nose end mill, and then I'm going to have a 1/32 ball nose end mill, and I want those two tools to match together as closely as possible. I really do want to be within 1/1000th of an inch between those two tools, and that way, that's one thing that I do have to measure. And this block here is 2 inches exactly, and when I bring my cutter down to touch on top of the block, that's got a little spring action in there, and then I can bring it right up to 0, and when that's at 0, that's exactly 2 inches. And then I tell the machine control to set that at 2 inches. So there, I'm right on 0 on the dial. And I'll set my Z to 2 inches. I'm not going to set Z 0. I'm going to set Z 2 inches because that's exactly 2 inches above that. So one thing that I can do on my pendant is I can switch this over to override feed and speed, and I don't know if you could see it or not, that says 100% right there, and if I turn the dial you can see that that goes down. So I turn that dial all the way down to 1%, and when I start my program, that's how I'm going to start it, is at 1%. The reason that I do that is so that it doesn't crash really hard into anything going really fast, and then I can control it. So I'm going to turn it up a little bit. And then turn it down a little bit as it gets closer. So if anything looks wrong, I can hit my E-stop. It looks okay, I'm just going to turn it up. I'm back up to 100%, and that's running at 350 inches per minute. Okay, that's all done. That took 8.5 minutes, 8 3/4 minutes, 8.47. Okay, so here's the 3D rooster all cut out with the 3D roughing. And the lines that you see back and forth from the 1/4 inch end mill, as you can see it, the line goes up one way, moves over, and comes back to the next pass. Each pass individual. That's called step over. That's how far the end mill steps over to make the next pass down. So it goes back and forth, roughs this all out, and it's only intended to remove excess material, so that when you come in with the finished tool path, what you want to do when I do my 1/8 inch end mill is I'm going to make my step over a lot closer than this. So I will look up a little bit later and find out what I had for step over on this tool, and then I'm going to show you the difference with the 1/8 inch and tapered ball nose end mill. So that's what I'm going to go set up now. Okay, now I have the 1/8 inch tapered ball nose end mill in the spindle. I set it on that 2-inch block just like the other one, right to come down to 0 on the block, which means that it was exactly 2 inches above the, and then I set my my machine to 2 inches, so the Z is the same as the 1/4 inch roughing end mill that I just went in with, and I cleaned out all the rough material with the 3D roughing tool pass. Now I'm going to run a 3D finishing tool path with the larger tool being the 1/8 inch tapered ball nose end mill. Then I'm going to switch over to the 1/32 tapered ball nose end mill, set it the same Z, and then run it again, but with the piece called rest machining. And I think I explained that on the Flower Maiden and on the Wizard Green Man, but I'm going to go over it again over here, so we'll see the difference. Now the difference here with the rooster is that the rooster model is 1 inch thick. I don't have a base behind it, no plaque behind this. So we'll see how much difference of a detail that we get. Hoping for the best. Let's take a look. Okay, so that finishes up the 1/8 inch tapered ball nose end mill. Looks pretty good, but I'm going to put in a 1/16 ball nose end mill, tapered ball nose end mill, next to see what the difference is. I don't think I'm going to go to 1/32 because I don't think the detail on the model is fine enough to just go down that fine. So I think 1/16 is going to do it. Let's put in a 1/16 and see how it goes. Let's go. Alright, so the rooster is all finished up. I took it off the machine, and I actually did a little bit more work to it since I took it off the machine. I did a little bit of extra detail work, and I primed it. So this is the end of all of the CNC work, all of the stuff that I was doing on the machine. And that'll conclude that part of this making cool stuff video. So coming up is going to be painting the rooster. I've got some cool stuff, some cool color schemes, and I hope to do a nice job with it because I like roosters. You know, for some reason that they're beautiful birds. But anyway, so we're going to carry on with the next part of the video, and I hope you enjoyed this one because I enjoyed making it. I'm ready to move on to the next step, so hope you enjoyed it. Let's see what the next portion looks like. Bye-bye.